Hi! Today I have a different type of video. Myself and some local dolly friends, HK Dolly Design Studio and SA Doll Collector, are doing a collab to celebrate spring. So we're doing some fairy themed things with our dolls, whether a dress up, a diorama or a custom. We originally wanted to finish in September, which is pretty much considered spring month around here, but unfortunately things got delayed. But here we go! I'm going to fully customize my own Pico Nemo D doll. I honestly love A-Zone dolls, especially Pico Nemos and Little Fairies. When the Little Fairies first went up for pre-order on Army, I really wanted Erino. But due to some stuff happening, my pre-order was cancelled and I couldn't get her. I originally started this custom back then after I wasn't able to buy Erino before. I've technically worked on this doll for quite some time, but I haven't successfully customized her yet. So let's get started! The body is a Pico Nemo D body in a flesh skin tone. I did order it with extra hands from Hobbylink Japan. Unfortunately, this body seems to be unavailable now. Only with the reinforced joints version available, which, while more posable, is a lot less pretty. The head is an 11 cm Obitsu hair implant head in pink with the flesh skin tone I got from Hobby Search. Unfortunately, at the time, there were no Pico Nemo heads available on any online Japanese retailers, so I went with the most common choice which people used for the body. I've attempted to customize her several times, with 3 different face-ups even. This is a photo of the first time I customized her. It wasn't that bad, but it was before I knew stuff needs to be sealed, so it chipped and faded. The dress is also from A-Zone, but it's stained pretty badly. I don't remember the problem with my second face-up, but here's the third. I used Tamiya TS80 sealant, which works well on resin, but apparently not on vinyl, as using it on vinyl will cause it to become sticky. You can see how dirty she looks. The paint on the eyes also stained the head. First, I removed the face-up with acetone and cleaned the head and body with soapy warm water. Then I used Oxy 10 lotion to remove the stains. I applied to the stained areas and wrapped the doll in cling wrap and leave her out in the sun. This will be repeated a few times until all the stains are pretty much gone. And since my favorite little fairy is a Erino, I'm going to paint my doll's face like hers. I wonder if I'll keep it once I get an actual Erino. And I'm starting with the face-up. And unfortunately, I'm also using Tamiya TS80, which doesn't work well on vinyl. Whoa, bad language. Anyway, but I have another brush on sealant that I can go over the Tamiya with, which prevents it from getting sticky. But because of how it's incompatible, I don't get that much tooth, so I can't really do detailed face-ups with my watercolor pencils. You'll see how I struggle getting color. Anyway, like most face-ups, like most people, whoa. I start with a light brown watercolor pencil and start sketching the face. I take my time and go slowly. And the sketching part of the face is at 2 times speed, so you can see I am going very slowly. I'm constantly referencing a picture of Eyeline online on the laptop right next to me. And I start with the upper eyelids and then the pupils, irises, and the bottom lids. Then go to the smile and the eyebrows. I also use a mirror to check my symmetry, because perfect symmetry is something I have not achieved. And say welcome to my stupid head, because you'll be seeing it a lot. I'm the type of person that keeps something pretty much right in front of my face when I'm working on it. Probably not good for my eyes, but that's what works for me. Also, during this face up, for some reason or another, the left eye didn't really want to build up as much color as the right eye. So I had a few layers where I specifically only worked on that eye. Checking the symmetry. This is actually my second run of this face up I'm trying to do. Maybe the first time I didn't, or rather first the eyes were way out of proportion compared to the head, and well, I thought I did something wrong while sealing, so the color wasn't building up, but turns out that's just a sealant. So I wiped it and redid it, and I'm glad I did. It looks so much better. So when I start with eyebrows, I usually start in the center of the face, making sure they're level, and then slowly making the shape. And I use a kneaded eraser to help me get the shape I want. And using the various types of tools to make sure there's no more marks left after using the kneaded eraser, because sometimes there is. And welcome back to my head. I just want to say to all the doll customization people who do their face-ups through a camera, you are effing talented, and thank you for your work. I can't do that. Not yet, or maybe not ever. Well, thanks for listening. And let's continue. I want my eye colors, I want to make my eyes green. I'm first using a light green watercolor pencil to draw in the irises, and then some white to add to the whites of the eyes and the highlights around the eyelids and brows. But I see absolutely nothing right now. And a few layers of sealant, and we go on to the next layer. And I'm using since my doll's hair is pink, I'm using some pink on the brows. And as I was trying to say just now, I struggled a bit deciding on what eye color to use. I knew I was going to make my doll's colors blue and pink, since the hair is pink. And I wasn't sure, do I make my eyes blue as well? Do I make them pink again, like I did with all the previous face-ups on this doll? And then I somehow or another decided on green, which is my own eye color. And since this is a fairy themed collab, why not? Plants are green, grass is green. Green is pretty much the color of nature, so I went for green. Since I've finished blocking out the shapes of my eyes, I'm going to start with my black watercolor pencil, mainly to draw in the lashes and the outer edge of the iris. Following the color scheme of Eyeline on my reference picture, there is no black pupil, so it's only the black outlines. But I am using the black I did use the black to try and draw in the catch lights and the sections inside the iris. And at this point it's mostly just building up the colors. And I'm carving a bit of soft pastels onto a piece of paper, and I'm giving her some blushing on the cheeks, and then a bit different from my reference, I'm blushing a bit at the corners of the eyes and eyebrows. I don't remember why, but I did that. And next layer of sealant. here you see me going in with the dark green pencil, trying to see if I can build up more color that way. But yeah, it's not particularly successful. And another layer of sealant. And you can more or less see all the colors starting to take shape. Maybe it could have been possible to do the face up properly with watercolor pencils, but I only had 1 can of sealant and I already used most of it on this face up. I want to try and invest in some MSC for my vinyl face ups. No. Interfering, baby. But yeah, I don't do face ups that often. But hopefully I can get a can for my vinyl face ups. And welcome back to my head. This time with hood. And here I'm using a different kind of pencil. I'm honestly not sure what it is, but it's super pigmented. And in previous experience, it doesn't stain either, so I don't know what it is or where it originally came from, but it works. And here I'm trying to use the black to shade a bit of the upper part of the iris. Not particularly successfully. And some more white. And yeah, it's pretty much just layering until I get tired of the watercolor pencils and move on to paint. Another layer of sealant, and here we go again. At this point I'm adding the eyelashes. And now I'm using the pink watercolor pencil on the brows and lips again. I keep going back to the brown and between the pinks. Yes, I'm using 2 different pinks because one is the same tone as the hair but super light, and the other one isn't at all the same tone as the hair, but I was hoping it could darken it enough. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm not zooming in where I work, it's because 1, I'm working all over the place, and 2, cropping the video is a bit difficult because it's in several different sections, and being a bit constant between the sections is not possible for editing me at this stage. Editing me is not very competent, so I hope you forgive me. And another layer of sealant. Welcome back, Head. We haven't missed you at all, and you're in a really horrible place right now. But we can honestly see the face taking shape, even though the colors are not vibrant at all, but still looking cute, but not quite like the character, or rather not quite like Erino. And another layer of sealant, and for some reason I tried seeing if I added blue, if that's going to help anything. Well, part of it's mainly because my eyes are looking a bit on the yellowish side of the green. In general, when it comes to greens, I prefer it more bluish than yellowish, except neons. Yellow neons look good. In my opinion anyway. And of all my neon colored clothing in my closet, the yellow ones keep the color the best. And after another layer of sealant, I got tired and started with paint. I'm starting with a dark green and then lightening up the green as I go along. And unfortunately my head is absolutely in the way and hitting my camera and being a nuisance. And lighting up the colors a third time for the mid-toned green. And this is the color that encompasses most of the eye, or what you can see anyway. So I'm being super careful with that, and then I'm mixing up a lightened green for some highlights, and going between these two to get what I want. And adding catch lights with white and the sclera. It really brings it to life. And my head is in the way again. I should really put something on the camera so that if my head gets too close, I bump into it. But then it will bump the camera and the camera will shake. I really don't know what to do with my head. But I guess I'll sort it out eventually. At this point, I don't do face-ups nearly enough to be able to get that in order. Now I'm starting with the black, carefully doing eyeline, going over the lines, the top lashes, the edges of the iris, and the bottom lashes. Anyway, after sealing that, after painting that, and I'm happy, I seal it with another layer of Tamiya, and I make sure it's what I want. And after sealing with a layer or two of Tamiya, then I use Reeves matte varnish diluted to a 1:3 ratio to do a few coats over the head where the Tamiya was used. And after that's dried, a little bit of baby powder, and then the face isn't going to be sticky anymore. Yay! And here, this last bit is in real time. So you can see how I work. I have to apologize at this point that my footage for me showing off the face paint was missing, so I won't be showing off the face paint in this part of the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next part and the other collab videos. Bye!